Mystic Moons is here. Anybody would like a reading? Talk about anything? Say hi. I'm here. Chit chat. Say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time. Whatever time zone you're at, anything on your mind. If you want to share, share. Mystic Moons is here. We can chit chat. I can listen. We can comment. We can have a reading. We can do whatever you want. Mystic Moons is here. Pussycats are here as well. So if you want to talk, say hi, how you doing? Whatever's on your mind. Whatever's on your mind. You want to talk? Anything. Anything. You want to talk? You want to moan and groan? Whatever. No, not moan and groan. Take that back. I take that back. Let's use words. Good words. Share thoughts, ideas, whatever is on your mind. We do have something on our minds. I mean, it's such a paradox what's going on. So anyway, Mystic Moons is here, and ready to share things. Very strange. Christmas is a very strange holiday. I mean, I don't know, maybe I find it very hard to be festive. I mean, I'm grateful for the holidays, of course, but festive. I don't know. Do I feel festive? I don't want to be a Scrooge. Of course not. But it's just so much crap going on. So many things. Don't you think so? I mean, busy shopping, put up your trees, put up your candles, cook your meals, get your snacks ready, all these type of things. Then, so you can sit down, hustle and bustle and sit down and, it's the end of the year, They're bringing. Hey, how you doing, guys? Want to say hi? Any comments? Want to say hello? Hello, how are you? Hi, how are you? What's up? Hi, what's up? I'm just up. I had something to eat. I'm full of energy. I had coffee today, rather late, so I'm kind of up on the East Coast. And, it's getting cold again, stuff like that. I'm just wondering what you like. I'm wondering, should I stay up all night? And things like that. That's what's up. How about you? What's up with you? Where are you? Where's everybody? Where are you? Hey, I just been finding out a lot of information. I'm going, wow. Stuff like that. Anything on your end that's new? Anybody want to say hello? You know what I was reading? I was reading about Edgar Cayce. And he said that, X amount of years ago, that humanity is going to go through a huge spiritual awakening. People are going to find themselves having powers that they never knew that they had, like clairvoyancy, telepathy, remote viewing, things like that. Isn't that? And I was thinking, yeah. I mean, the dumber that our governments treat us, the more that we retreat and go, I don't think so. And we look for other ways to expand our consciousness. But beyond all that, I mean, let's chill out. Let's just chill out. Chill. And has anybody been outside today or tonight? If it's nighttime where you are, or even daytime. What's up? Nobody wants to say hi? I don't bite. I'm not even a carnivore. I eat beans and nuts. So I'm pretty gentle. Except I do keep my brain alive. Quite feisty brain. Right? Well, hi, how are you? Croquette with me corner. Crochet, croquette, crochet. I love to. Hi, how you doing? I love to like crochet too. By the way, I like that. That single needle you use and the different things you can make, and it's almost. It's. I mean, I love crochet. Knitting, I don't knit, but I do love to crochet. Even though I haven't crocheted for ages. What do you make? Do you? Is that just your groovy name, or do you actually crochet as well? I'm always making something though. I'm almost tempted to show you something that I have to finish. I have I have an interesting style. I'm a visual artist, by the way. I have some interesting style lately. That's just like chance, that perchance type of thing. Like it just strikes you in the moment. I mean, I could do realistically. I'm a realistic illustrator and painter if I want to be, but I get more of a kick out of making satirical not even whimsical. It's just outrageous stuff. I like to do that. Hey. Oh, nice. Nice. I love to crochet. You can, I mean, in fact, you can make a crocheting dress. You can make, gloves, gloves, scarf, hat, tights, no leggings. Now forget about the tights. I'm not going to think anything crochet would go over my backside, even though I'm not fat or anything, but that's just too much for me to even think about. But I do like leggings. I'm pretty tall, so that's why I like making tights is beyond me. Absolutely beyond me. Hi, Xanu. How are you? How many people did you sew or do you make things or stuff like that? I made a soup tonight out of check this out. Out of chickpeas with beet powder, coconut, and cashews, and some oil, olive oil, and some Himalayan salt. It's pretty good. It took forever to cook because I cook it in a slow cook, but it's tasty. It's very tasty. What have I made in crochet? Well, I made jumpers, I had scarves, hats, gloves. I mean, I just love crochet. I really love crochet. And it's just I'm also tempted to actually, the most fantastic thing I made out of crochet. I'll tell you, it's I make sculptures, by the way, among some other stuff. But anyway, I got all these cans, right? A whole bunch of cans, and I made this figure about a big one. It's big, and then I crocheted over the junk cans into the shape of a human sitting down with their hands out and stuff like that. And I made it out of rags. Like I made my own crochet thing out of rags, black and white rags, only two colors, and it looks pretty cool. And then the way the garbage cans were, and the crochet, I mean, it makes it look like the guy who's sitting down. It's a male figure. The guy sitting down, he has we call it like a gas mask or a respirator. When you protective facial gear. And this was years ago. I did this like maybe about 6 years ago or so, something like that. But it's really cool. It's really cool. So that's the last big thing I made out of crochet. And I always love to make rugs. I love to make rugs. I mean, I'll cut up anything and make a rug out of it. I love rugs. Just love crochet. And when it's that big with Mickey rugs, I just use the needle. I just use my hands and just go. When I was in this village in West Asia, they made a lot of things out of crochet. They made every single thing. And that's where I go, oh wow, that's great. But I love crochet. What do you make? What do you make out of crochet? Oh, plushies. Nice, 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 nice. Nice. I like that. You can make some really cute little animals and stuff like that. I did a thing for some toy company once. And, I made a lot of little animals, but I didn't even use. I just stitched them together and stuffed them with stuffing. But no, I love crochet. It's so spongy, and it makes you feel like when you're in the country too. I love that country feel. It's nice. Except when you try to wash these rugs, it's such a big deal. I mean, I've made rugs that they just can't fit in a washing machine. You have to do them by hand. But it's still nice. It's still nice. And then too, when you're walking, I love rugs, because when you're walking on your old clothes, the old vibrations and stuff like that, it's just like, it's poignant. I like it. I like it a lot. And to me, when you're feeling like, not nervous, but you're thinking a lot, crochet is the best. Crochet is the best. What kind of plushies do you like to make? But are they animal ones or little people or what? Oh, how sweet, how sweet, how sweet, how sweet. I love it. I love that. That is so cool. That is so cool. That is so cool. Lately, lately, I'm into cardboard, and I love cardboard. First, I was saying I would make armatures out of cardboard, but then I started like, if you take cardboard, right, or even toilet paper rolls, and you make paper mache on top of it, and then you take like any type of surface thing. It could be stones. It could be uh, crack. I use crack mirrors. I crack mirrors all the time, and it's just so incredible. I mean, I have these huge. I made like doing lockdown. I made these huge mobiles. I usually work with just standing figures, life size, or a little bit bigger. And I made these huge mobiles out of popsicle sticks, endless amount of popsicle sticks. I mean, like 15, 16, 18 feet long, right? And then I cracked glass all over it. And then process. It may take a while to do this, especially when you have cats. And then make sure you get the balance right, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, when the sun hits it or any light hits it, and small pieces of cracked glass, like, all over it. And when the light hits it, it mirrors on the wall like little bubbles. It's really cool. It's really cool. It's really nice. I do like people in like scenarios, like situations. When I do my sculptures, like I'm working on these pieces now. It's called spaces. Like how you're like if you were to be like taking a photograph of yourself, right? Somebody's taking a photograph of you, and they turn this way, turn that way. I mean, there's about 8 to like 24 different personalities, depending on how they shoot you, that you can portray. Well, I put the same thing in these figures, and of course, I've been told to keep them small because I already have a number of storages that I have my work, stored at. Expensive. Anyway, but like, well, I'm taking all those 24 sides of each of us, depending on the angle that's taken, out of cardboard, put it together, and then you paint it black. And you'd be surprised once you paint something black, even cardboard, how it gives it kind of so much structure, and it takes the meaning to a whole other place. And then I put the glass on top of it, and it's really interesting. The mirrors, on top of it. It's really interesting. Try it. Cardboard is great. Oh, you have to go? Okay. Well, it was nice chatting with you. I enjoyed it. Come back again. Mystic Moons is around. And we can share some of the stuff we make if you want. I can do that. I could do that with you. Okay? Sleep tight. Bye-bye. So, I'm just in a chatty mood because I had coffee. Anybody else out there want to share what you do or want to say hi? Xanadu, are you gone? You going to say hi? Xanadu, say hi. Well, you don't have to say hi. Well, force anybody to say hi to me. But anyway. Yeah, so just if we just, can you imagine? I mean, just like, it's so nice to make your own things, to make things, I think. It's a good release, and you end up with something that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. And it just keeps the juices flowing. It makes you think. Somebody did a test on, when you take your phone and you scroll up and down, like, how does that affect your brain? Up and down, up and down, up and down. And I was thinking of that. That is, how does it, a scrolling brain, instead of turning page by page, we're going up and down, up and down, up and down. Up and down. It's a different type of mental process, isn't it? As opposed to tactically slipping page after page and holding the book. I play solitaire a lot just because it helps my motor skills in case I'm doing too much of it, things like that. And for concentration purposes, that's all. See how many times I can win against myself. Do you guys do anything like that? Do you have anything that you like to do that keeps it, it just makes you I guess it's like a self-discipline almost. Even though I know playing solitaire over and over again is not winning or anything like that. It's just like making sure that I pay attention to things. Well, do you write? Does anybody here write? You got poems? Poems are nice. What do you think about the current music? I just found out something about, what's his name? Machine Gun Kelly. I was reading something, and wasn't very nice. I'm not going to share it, but it was like, good God, slutty, very slutty, very slutty, very slutty. Of course, I did a reading on Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly quite a while ago, and that they were, doomed. That was the kind of the be all and the end all. Even though they keep on going back and forth with each other, I felt they were not soulmates and blah blah blah. And anyway, he has full of STDs and he loves whores and blah 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 blah. It's like, oh my God. She should run, especially since he has those 3 kids. They portray him as a family guy, a little crazy, a little cuckoo, but he's much more than that. He's much more. Why do they keep on putting all these celebrities in front of our faces? I mean, really, I don't understand it. I do not understand it. I don't understand it, really. What's the purpose of it? Can anybody tell me what's the purpose of putting these people in front of our faces all the time? Or maybe it's just a setup, I suppose. So, anybody here from the Northeast? Anybody here from the West Coast of the United States? Anybody here from India? Anybody here from Russia? Anybody here from anywhere? Any? Well, if anybody would like a reading, we can do that. If not, we can still chit chat. We can chit chat. I don't think I could go to sleep now if I wanted to. Yeah. I can always draw. That's true. I'm gonna do paperwork. Mm. Who else stays at night or up early in the morning? Hi. Florida. Hey, how are you? Hi. Do you live in Florida? I used to live in Florida too. Florida. I was up all night too in Florida as well. I don't know. I'm a around the clock person. I'm really good. I'm really good. I'm really good. I'm really good. And I'm buzzing around, and it's like, everybody else is asleep in this world, but not me. No, not me. I'm good. I'm good. Just wondering about so many things and so many things. I mean, the more you read about things, things you want to read about, and the more you can wonder about, gee, yeah, how exciting. How exciting. What part of Florida? The south part, down there by Miami, down at the tip. What part are you in? I used to live down the tip. I'm in the Northeast. I'm in the mountains. I'm in the mountains of New York right now. I'm in the mountains. And it's been winter. I mean, snow, cold winds, stuff like that. And that's not very inspiring, but it's I'm trying to figure out where to stay, where to be. That's very hard. Where are you at in Florida? Oh, you're near the Bay. Oh, near Tampa. Oh, cool. So one of my friends just went down there for the season. He's working for a UPS. Get a part-time job doing that, seasonal work. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like Florida. I mean, I lived there for like a dozen years, and I still have a studio. I still have stuff down there. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know where to be. I can definitely say that I lived in the mountains. I lived in the beach. I mean, I lived in the desert. Just cities, countries, sticks, congested midtowns, stuff like that, everywhere. And I just don't know where to be. Oh, really? Amazon is such a behemoth. Really, such a behemoth. And you wonder about using all those machines and stuff like that. You gotta go I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. Any drone sightings down where you're at? Yeah, it's too cold. It's too cold. It's too cold. It's too cold. I mean, it's really pretty. It's very pretty, but it's hard to make. It's hard to make ends meet. The weather is harsh, and you can have all sorts of crazy shoes and stuff like that to walk on the ice and the snow. But and then there's always blackouts, and the reception is pretty crappy. Like a lot of the times the internet, because there's so many trees. You're not going to chop down all the forest just because you want to have some clear internet. But no, it's interesting. It's interesting though. Lots of birds still, bears, fishers. I use FedEx a lot. I use FedEx myself, but once in a while something comes from UPS, something. But I hope they don't start to put those those delivery drones that they said they were going to do. I never saw anybody actually. When I lived in the city, I didn't see anybody actually use, and they could have but I didn't see any, like Amazon delivery drones or Walmart delivery drones. I didn't really see that. Usually it was just people who like, take it a side gig and they deliver packages, or if it wasn't like, they do, UPS or something. But did you, there's a picture of Amazon's, Bezos' girlfriend. I didn't click on it, but in the Daily Mail, she was in some kind of like see-through dress going to a kid's thing. God, that's kinky. That's really kinky. Isn't that kinky? Oh, yeah, very close to the airport. Yeah. See, do you hear that takeoff and landing thing? I lived in the airport for about near an airport in Middle East for about I think it was like 4 months, something like that. Oh, I was right in the flight path. That was noisy. That was noisy. That was noisy. Yeah, yeah. But when you got it's close to me. If you got to get out, you got to get out. So that's another thing you got to think about. Airport. I don't know. I mean, airplanes are so marvelous in so many ways. The idea of just flying in the air, but there's a lot of things going on. Lots of stuff going on. Maintenance hasn't been that great. Now, the only thing I live near is lots of flooding. You'd be surprised how much flooding goes on in the mountains. Like the rain comes from the top of the mountain, it comes down, and more. I mean, the rivers and the flood areas and stuff like that. The erosion, I guess you'd call it. Yeah. Me too. I'm scared. No, if I have to go somewhere, I have to go somewhere. But I've been in some piece of junk planes too. Like, I've been in some nice planes too. But it's still the same. It just felt a plane feels like a bus, right? It feels like a Greyhound bus, and it goes up in the air. But well, I haven't been on a plane for about a year now. I guess something like that. I like driving at night. It's so weird. It's a weird experience, and the nighttime flights. It's weird what you see. It's weird. Further up, yeah. Catskills, around Finger Lakes, stuff like that. It's really pretty land. It's really pretty territory, and you have some fantastic rainbows, like after the rain. But it's a different lifestyle. There's different things going on. And then the political aspects are intense, of course. But I'm not into politics. I'm just like into kind of like commenting what's like, what's really happening, what's going down, stuff like that. Well, I used to live in the city. I used to live in New York City. I used to live in New York City for quite some time. And I liked the city when it was happening, but I'm not paying like $5K a month for like a 2x4 bathroom, that kind of thing. It's too expensive, and then the subway is horrible. I get tired of the subway, and it's not fun. You go to a club, or you go to, let's say, a coffee shop. Everybody's looking at their iPhone, their phone. And it's like, it's not like you go to it's hard to go to places and meet people in the sense like that. Everybody's all connected. Yeah, the rents are just too crazy. They're too. For what? And then and then the jobs. They either work you to death, or you don't get paid enough. And everything is like at will. Meaning, if you don't like, somebody doesn't like what you do, you can be like let go in a nanosecond. And then you got that heavy rent. Right? Then you got that heavy rent to pay. So that's a drag. That's really a drag. The rents are just too crazy. The rents are bad everywhere. And then you think about, like in New York, check this out. Like, there's a law in New York that was passed, I think, last year or so, that if there's a health emergency, they have the right, they use the word they, They have the right to pick you up and put you in a camp if they suspect that you're infected or you've been around any infected person that they, whatever they say, you want to be infected by. And that is pretty creepy. They can just round you up and put you in a camp in New York State without you having any say in the matter. So that's kind of like too much for me. No, you see, it doesn't even matter if it's like, first of all, most illnesses are because we have worms, parasites. You realize how many of us have parasites and they're eating and feeding on everything that we do and they're just living inside of us. The first thing, if you're going to feel sick, is you got to detox from the worms, parasites. And it's just nothing but worms. It's gross. But it's parasites we have that are taking our energy away from us. And if we just, clean our systems out and constantly, and then I don't think it's really you have a problem because your body is remarkable and it can handle this as long as it's not feeding 1,000 worms inside of you, or at least tapeworms, all types of hookworms, whatever worms. But I mean, if your system, we're meant to, I think, meant to share germs. I think we're meant to share them. However, a good body, just because that's how I'm immune to like serious illness. You can't live by, like in a sterile type of lab. And I think our bodies are fantastic. I really think our bodies are fantastic as long as we keep the worms and the parasites down to zero. And it's like I found during lockdown, I found like two pussycats, two little kittens, and they were in such bad shape. And they had worms, they had ague, they had colds. They were two little things. And I mean, I really, if I took them to the vet, I knew they were going to poke out their eyeballs and do all these things because it was a lot of work. I treated them homeopathically, and I got their worms out of them, giving them turmeric, however you want to say it. And like a few other things. And they managed to pets. Also, too, it's in the air. It's in the air. Germs are, I mean, that when, the wind's blowing and stuff like that. I mean, you could be taking those, it blows from trees, it blows anywhere. These little microscopic things, when they start, not just pets, even for some dog in doggy park, you can be, and the wind's blowing through that dog's fur and you can be snuff that stuff up your nose or something like that. You can have a parasite inside your body. It's just that simple. Yeah. But I mean, I'm just trying to say it took me like 2.5, maybe 3 months, and I got those little kittens like healthy as can be, and they didn't. They're just like the sweetest little things, and I was just going to really just like foster them, but they're still here. They're still here, and they're part of the family. But I'm just trying to say that like they're in their poop, they used to have like all the worms come out and stuff like that, but until like finally cured it, finally got all the worms out of them, and that was good. That was good. That was good. That was good. But let me check my battery life on this thing. Hold on a moment. Oh yes, I just couldn't. I mean, really, I had to get out of the rescue business because I'm too softy. I'm too. I mean, it's like I really didn't. I mean, some people find kittens and stuff like that, and they like these just to sell them for like a couple $100 to somebody, and they take them to the vet, and the vet pokes out their eyes, and then they cut off one of their ears to say that it's been castrated. It's pretty like a system going on, and I think like, oh, what's prettier when a kitten than two normal ears? It's like, leave these things alone, please. That's really, to me, like when you're like profiteering off of kittens. That's a whole level of like, I don't want to go there, right? I don't want to go there. But I mean, basically, I think that like a lot of illness is just because we have worms. We have worms. It's gross. It's gross. I have to detox myself. I haven't done it in a while, but I should. I mean, I keep indoor pets. They don't go outside, but still, as I said, you never know when you pick like stuff, things, things. And I think too that there's just like there's and they hatch and have so many eggs. Like if you have a worm inside of you, and then they hatch and you can I don't know how many babies they have because I haven't looked it up, but I'm sure they have lots of offspring. And then they probably start out as like very tiny things. You probably can ooze them out. Well, I'm not even gonna, you know what I mean. Gross, gross, gross. I'm just saying that we humans carry a lot of parasites too. They do. They do. There's all sizes and shapes, and then when they form links together, that's when they really get big. Really get big. But I think that's the cause of a lot of sickness. What do you want, little girl? Somebody's talking here. No. No. Do you hear her? She's cute. Oh yeah, I have catnip in the refrigerator. Catnip. Yeah, I love to see them. They love catnip. They love catnip. And they love snacks. They have snacks. And they have harnesses, clothes. They're cute. They're cute. They're cute. Do you have any pets? You have 4 cats? No, so why? Because I had 2 before. Yeah. Well, I have 2 Siamese and 2 Mogies. Siamese, I mean, I was like, I love my Siamese, and I wanted to get like Angoras and different types of like particular breeds. But when these cute little Mogies came into my life, I said, "Oh, how sweet, how sweet, how sweet! I love those things." Hey, hey, you have water? Oh, you want water? Uh, this cat is meowing because she wants the water. I think I got cat down. Ooh, nice. Did she have to make clothes for it? I'm sure. Yeah, we make clothes for the cats. We make clothes. We make harnesses actually. Yeah, I mean cats are just so well. They keep the mice down. They keep the mice non-existent. And they keep the bugs away. And they also listen to see if anybody or anything is prowling around, which is pretty good. I love animals. Period. I love animals. I should really get myself a farm. Become a farmer, but not to like eat anything, but because I'm a vegan. I mean, not. I mean, just to have like a few animals and see how that goes. I've had a farm before, but I used it for artwork. And but I mean, to like actually, that's a lot of work though. But I think it's a nice life. I think it's a nice life. Cat apparel, yeah, of course, of course. I mean, I think when you dress, the cats get cold, And they have to have some clothes in case the utilities, especially up here, in case the utilities ever go out, because they have the brownouts. And you got to be able to put like some sweaters and things on them. So they have a few sweaters and things like that. Things like that. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And that's the whole thing. Do you know Edgar Casey? Do you know Edgar? I mean, do you know Edgar Casey? Edgar Casey. And he's was born about 130 years ago, and he's a psychic, a clairvoyant, and he did a lot of things. He's pretty well known. He's from Kentucky, USA, and he was saying that around this time, 2025, the physical and the spiritual, the dimensions, will get really thin. That you'll be able to, people who really concentrate and know themselves and you know are together should be able to be clairvoyant and telepathic, etc. Because the dimensional barriers to evolving yourself are like weakened and they're thinning. Isn't that cool? Yeah. Exactly. I mean, even cats that have fur without, or they get cold, let alone one of them who doesn't. I mean, did they make that breed? I think did they make a hairless breed for people who had allergies? Is that why? Hmm. That's kind of cruel in a way. As long as you can keep them clothed. But I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I think that the spirits, like, I mean, I think that people meet somebody, you're not only meeting the person, right? A person, you're meeting their spirits too. That when somebody comes towards you, they could be having like a troop, you know, they could be 9 spirits, to a person or more. Somebody can come with a whole legion of spirits. I mean, that's what the whole thing is. Like, you could have some of your, ancestors. You can have some of your friends. You can have some people that you pick up that like, this is my territory, and all types of things. All types of things. I mean, it's very interesting that they never really tell you that you can have spirits, you can have this, you can have that, and they just have these like ways of writing off, like, oh, you must be crazy, or you must have, you're possessed, or come on, come on. It's like, why don't they really like go into more specifics? There's too much of stuff that we don't know, and that like we're told not to explore. Yes. No, cats are very. I think they're very, very magical. I, I think they're very magical. I mean, I like my cats a lot. I love my cats. And if I had a dog or two, I'd love my dog too. I want to get a dog. And I might even get a few farm animals and rescue them. But I'm just thinking about how is that going to be conducive, like, picking up their poo and stuff, how to get them toilet trained or something like that. That's going to be an effort. And I think that, like, I would be so uptight that somebody might try to eat them that I'd probably have to build something on my house. I'd have to, like, lock them in, not in the barn, but lock them in some place that I could, like, make sure that they were cool, no matter how I would, if I was asleep. So when I lived in a farm, I lived in a farm for about, I had this farm, I rented it for about, I don't know, 10 months, something like that. Place drove me crazy. It was out there in cornland, nothing but corn stalks, corn stalks. So in the night of the full moon, that was so weird. You could see like out there in the sticks when you're, surrounded by cornfields, you could see like far, far, far away. And I was in the mountains, corn stalks, full moon, you get the idea. I always was scared that maybe like some crazy person would be walking on the road, just walk like like the Walking Dead type of thing. But it was like I slept downstairs because like I want to be close to like paying attention if somebody came in. I had all my security weapons. Oh, that's nice. I was there with like one other family member, but we were there. But when she would go to you know outside, go to the West Coast or the East Coast, just to go on business stuff like that. Like somebody always had to be there. There were a couple times I was by myself, and that was pretty scary. I didn't get much sleep those nights, but it still is pretty scary for like you know women to be like in the woods by themselves. It's scary. I like the peace of it, but it's kind of spooky at the same time. It's kind of spooky at the same time. And of course, you make sure you have all your good locks and weapons, legal weapons. And it's intense. It is intense. I won't say it's not. It is intense. I mean, I want to like, and now you take like what's happening, all the crap. I mean, the cities aren't like cool. Cities aren't cool. I mean, you can have things happen to you. You can live in a high rise and stuff is happening. So that's not a safety net either. So it's kind of complex. It's kind of complex, and I don't like living like on in a commune or anything like that. But I mean, if there was enough acreage, enough acres, maybe one place, one house at one end, another house at another end, something like that. I have to figure it out, and I need like a big place because I have these big sculptures and stuff. I have big paintings too. So yeah, it's kind of. I mean, that's why I got to get a couple dogs. A couple dogs. Oh, yeah, I've seen a number of things. Whenever I travel to a different country, especially when I travel by myself, even when I'm by myself. But yeah, I've seen things in Europe. I've seen things in Middle East. I used to travel quite a bit. No, I've seen things, and I've seen things here in the mountains here in upstate New York. In fact, that's what made me. At times, I go back from the leave the country because I keep on seeing things. It's a little harder to see things in the city because there's so much activity day and night. But spirits, I've seen enough to like definitely definitely believe in the spirit world. I mean, definitely, and I remote viewed a few times, and I've had some like just very weird experiences, very weird experiences for decades, for as long as I can remember. I have, but like I wouldn't do it anymore. I wouldn't do it anymore. You don't really need it. What you really need is like I find what you really need is like getting out of your box, right? Getting out of your box. Like don't fall into conventional thinking. And because I mean, every time there's a thought out there, somebody's getting paid for it. Like somebody's writing an article. I mean, they're getting paid to write that article by the editor, by the investors, and stuff like that. But if you can get out of your box, not lose yourself, I mean, but just like stop like believing everything that's told, because there's a reason for something to be said, and you just like you look at the sky, cerulean blue sky, and you just wonder, like, not the chemtrails, of course, but you just look at the beauty of the whole thing. You look at the leaves, the forest, the trees. I mean, that in itself is a complete trip. That's a complete trip. So I mean, and you think about like, I mean, even if you like do like let's say Kundalini yoga. Kundalini yoga is like regular yoga, like hatha yoga, but you hyperventilate more or less. You're bringing in a lot of breath, a lot of breathing, and you do it rapidly, which I mean, you're giving your whole like brain like a shot of this oxygen, stuff like that. That it's like really, it's intense. I mean, there's so much that the body itself can do, but you know, you need a, sometimes you would need a guide or someone to say that, yeah, do this, do it that way. And, but, you know, I think that if you live in an environment that people, you keep yourself, you live in an environment that people want to be, you know, beings of light and they embrace the goodness. I mean, there's lots of negativity and, you know, not to be stupid, Pollyanna, I don't mean that. I'm just saying that you want to have, you know, you don't want demonic spirits. You don't want negative energy. That doesn't mean you don't listen to bad things. You know what I mean? You're not one of these people that say, just tell me the good news. I don't mean that. I'm saying that you don't harbor the negative. And you have to realize too that we are like, there's intelligence all around us. There are intelligence. You know, the spirits exist. The spirits do exist. There's many types of beings, and humans aren't the only ones. And in fact, we're like, you know, we're a collective, like, collectively, we're a mean race. We're made to be mean. You know, the whole, you're descended from apes, and you know, if you didn't have like school, universities, jails, etc., 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 you'd be. Oops. Wait a second. I'm like fading out here. My battery's low. Hold on.